Shiambade here, Houston-based attorney and host of Ask Tammy Live, where we discuss the best ways to establish your business, protect your name, and keep your profits. Today's question of the day is, why should I use an LLC for my real estate? Great question that comes up. And this is really for commercial property, or this is for rental properties. This is not geared towards your personal home. This is more so if you have an investment property, for example, that you're dealing with. These are the entities that we're discussing. So let's jump in. The first reason why you want an LLC for your real estate is for the limited liability. Now, if you are a subscriber on this channel, you hear me talk about it all the time. Limited liability creates a separation between you and your business, and it allows you to protect your personal assets. Now, when it comes to real estate, particularly investment real estate, I think that this becomes like triple times, even quadruple times as important, because you really are opening yourself up to a different type of liability. Let's say someone goes to your property and there's a slip and fall accident. Someone is going to sue someone. That person they're going to sue is you. And if you do not have an LLC that has signed the contract to own the business and has its own books, its own bank account that is separate from you, that person who fell is coming after your paycheck. Yes, they are suing you, and they're going to try and get in your bank account, and you have left the door wide open. And I don't think that's what Bruno Mars was talking about when he was singing the song, right? We do not want to leave that door open. We want to close that door. We want to close that door with an LLC, okay? So that's the reason number one. The reason number two is because of ease of transfer. So if this is an investment property, we want you to be able to sell it, buy it easily. An LLC makes it easy to do that, right? The entity can do that, and it doesn't involve your personal assets again. It allows the business to handle it. Another reason, so this is our third reason, is because when you're using your LLC to kind of have these transactions, you're also building your business's credit, right? So when you're trying to ensure that you have that, again, you're trying to be intentional about building your business credit, you want to make sure that you're using it and engaging it in such a way. So using an LLC can be really, really great for that. The fourth reason is for asset protection. So we've spoken about the limited liability. That means creating that separation between your business and you, but also your different types of properties. One of the things that I see sometimes is you have somebody who's like, I have one LLC and 15 properties in it? No, because this is what happens when you do that. You're leaving the door open. I think I'm going to keep on saying that. You're leaving the door open for one business's liabilities to impact another business, or one property's assets, one property's liabilities to impact another one. What do I mean? Let's take that same example of the slip and fall, right? But now you have 3 different properties all in one LLC, and someone slips and they fall in a commercial property because there was some type of water that was left or something that causes them to fall, and they are looking for who to sue, and they sue you because you have the deep pockets. But you don't want them to know how deep your pockets are. You don't want them to know that you have all these assets. You want to reduce and limit your liability by having a separate LLC for that property, so that the other 2 or 3 properties that you have, right, are not accessible in terms of the income that that property may have. Does that make sense? It's really about like allocating risk. The other thing is that you're also building various levels of separation. Essentially, you want to be building and constructing your entity structures, your LLCs, your corporations, even to some extent the use of trust, to show a separation and sometimes even a lack of direct control, so that you can protect yourself. Now, this is not us finagling. This is just talking about the way the law works. The more control someone has over a situation, the more legally responsible they can be found, right? And so when you show that you have these layers and that you actually follow the different divides, so you keep these things separate, the government is going to follow suit. They're going to look at the way you treat your property, look at the way you treat your assets, and follow your example. If you put it all together, they're going to say, we're going to take it all together, right? We don't want that. And then the final reason, so this is reason number 5, is for taxation benefits. And this is a huge one. LLCs provide something called pass-through taxation. Essentially, instead of your LLC being taxed and you being taxed, the tax burden is passed on to you. When you have entities like corporations, which is the other big, big brother in town, the big shot in terms of choosing entities, corporations are actually incur or have something called a double tax. That means that the entity, the corporation itself, has to file taxes, and then the people who own the corporation, the shareholders, have to file taxes as well. So it's hit twice. But with your LLCs, they are pass-through entities. Now, depending on a business, like if you're doing something business related, you may explore certain options that allow you to change your taxation patterns. But for the most part, for real estate, you want to enjoy that pass through taxation. In addition to that, in 2018, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act allowed for something called a qualified business income deduction. And so there's a potential savings that is available to real estate owners through the use of an LLC. There's some really cool deductions that you're able to take. There are some restrictions on it, so you're going to want to talk to a tax professional to see if you're eligible. So like, for example, if you're living in the property, then that's not going to be something that is eligible for that qualified business income deduction. But there are some options where they are. Another thing that they're going to look at is what type of actual lease structure is involved. But again, there are opportunities for some really significant tax savings. So we went through a couple of different reasons why you might want to consider having an LLC for your real estate. It really is really valuable. And so I would, for the most part, a lot of people, we're going to encourage you to do LLCs instead of corporations when it comes to your real estate. And it's for those reasons there. I hope that you have found this video to be particularly helpful if you are exploring purchasing some investment properties and exploring your real estate options. If you found that to be valuable and you want to know more, not just about using your LLC for real estate, but about starting a business or protecting your brand, I want to invite you to download our Level Up Your Business and Brand Action Checklist. This checklist was designed with you in mind. It breaks down step by step the different things that I do with my clients to help them establish their businesses, protect their brands, and keep their profits. Now, if you want to keep in contact with my law firm and with me to find out what we're doing, learn more, because we're constantly trying to empower people to make sure people have the knowledge to step into the boardrooms with a certain level of wisdom. Go ahead and check out our website, toslegal.com. Follow us on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. It's still TOS Legal, because we want to stay in connection with you. Finally, let me know, what do you want me to talk about? I talk about the law all the time, and I will keep talking about the law. Don't worry. I'm going to keep talking about trademarks, keep talking about LLCs, talking about DBAs and all of these other things. But that's not the only part of running a business. That's not the only part of life. And so I'd love to explore more concepts and topics with you. So let me know if you're interested in learning a little bit more about leadership, learning a little bit more about actual business strategy, learning more about, maybe even managing people and things like that. Just let me know. Marketing. These are all things that I love to talk about. So without any further ado, I will catch all of you on the flip side. Again, remember to subscribe, share, all of the good things, and I'll talk to you soon. Have an amazing day. Bye.